Well, hi, and welcome to my shop here. It's January the 9th, and I'm going to continue working on this radio, on the string on this radio. If you're a regular viewer of mine, you've probably wondered, oh my gosh, what has happened to Jim? Where has he been? Because I have not posted a video for quite a few days here. Not because I wasn't in here working on this radio. I've been in here every day, as usual, working on the string. I have 3 hours, I have more than 3 hours of video of me working on the string, on this radio, on the FM string, the one that goes around here. Now, as you look at, where's the string, Jim? If you spent 3 hours, where is it? Here's a piece of it over here. I think I threw it over here, actually. So after 3 hours, having the string on finally, and having everything looking really good, and in the final test of just turning the knob and making sure everything's okay, boing, the string broke. The string I put on broke. Why did it break? I need the other end to show you. I don't know yet why it broke. Here's the other end of it. And you can see there's a kink right here where it was being cut through, and it actually broke up here where it's very, very frayed. I can only guess this was rubbing up against something that I didn't realize it was rubbing up against. Some other factor of so many I've had to deal with in this radio that I didn't catch on to, and the result is this. And the result of that also was I stopped working on the radio, and I couldn't get myself back in here. Yesterday I came in and I just couldn't bring myself to work on it. That's how frustrating this has become, and it's very unusual for me. So I'm in here today. Another thing I've been doing is I've been looking at all the video I shot of me working on this, and I've made 2 or 3 attempts to start editing it into something that's watchable, and you know what? It's just so much work. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. I'm just going to start up here again, just going to start putting the string on. I got all the tricks. I know all the tricks now with this radio. I know everything about it. So surely it should be fairly straightforward. And this time I'll determine what exactly happened. I'll try to determine anyway what exactly happened that caused the string to break. First, I'm going to show you the only reason I'm able to do this is because of a photograph posted on the internet. Very lucky for me. Let's just take a look at it. On this website, the Norelco, that's my radio. There's a picture of it. There's my coffee. Yes, I have more to say about coffee in a minute. Pamela, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to write this little piece here. You also opened my eyes to something else, and that's the speakers are 600 ohms. I hadn't gotten to the speakers yet, but good that I know it now. The speakers are 600 ohms. Now I have an 8 ohm speaker on here. Wonder why it's a little less volume than what it should be? So here we are. This is the picture. She took this picture because she had trouble getting the string on, and she had to put in this bracket. See this metal bracket here? She created this bracket and stuck it on there, and when I look at the wire I can't quite understand what's happening with her bracket. But anyway, that was to keep this wire, the steel one, from falling off this edge. The alignment of this pulley, and it's hard to see, there's a pulley here, is absolutely critical at keeping all the strings on, and I struggled with this quite a bit. She has another photograph here. This one's not helping with the string situation, but Pamela, you need a new bench, no doubt about it. Okay, so now since the string I made is broken, I'm going to make another new string. I have the length here to work with, and what else can I tell you? It's been transpiring here. Of course, part of what's going on for me personally is the situation. Yes, the situation in the United States. I have found it extremely disturbing. To be really specific, the situation I'm talking about is 74 million Americans voting for Donald Trump. That's the part that's got me disturbed. Really disturbed. Okay, that's roughly the length of the string that we need. tie loops at either end, so we're going to give it a little extra for loop tying. I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Put a loop at one end. Using up a lot of string. Yes, what happened in the United States? What happened in the United States has been happening for 4 years, more than 4 years, many more than 4 years. And what happened the other day is just a culmination of playing with lies like it's some kind of a game. And we'll tie the other end. This has to go over a little nubbin that's in there, and I think I've made this too small. Like I'm already in trouble. Let's go to the other end. Which one? I bet the string is too short. Now the radio came with a very small tensioning spring. It was located right in here. The steel and wire and the string come together. Right now I'm using a very long spring, this one. And it's also very, it hasn't got a lot of strength. The very, very small string requires really high precision to using the small spring requires really high precision in getting the length of this string exactly right. The longer spring, a little less critical. The longer spring does not pull with as much tension as is pretty floppy. That's causing a problem. If I were left alone to do this, I would enter the string through the slot here in the top of this. But in Pamela's picture, the string and the wire go in through this hole. So I'm mimicking what she's done. In her case, there's a discussion about the dial being strung backwards, and that when you advance the dial, the pointer was going the wrong way. And that was corrected in her case. I don't really understand what happened there, but that's not what's going on with this radio anyway. So I've done this particular operation right here probably 5 times. You wouldn't know it though, would you? Okay, that's on. Now, wire goes this way, string goes the other way. With this turned at its limit, this is not at its limit. Darn it. With this at its limit, due to the capacitor being closed, this string should come to it right now. Down this way. I'm going to take a peek at her picture just to make sure I don't get this. Following what she did. Down this way. Up and over. Son of a gun. Just go down there. Yeah, 3 hours of this. And you know, my capacity for doing this is worn out even as I start here. Let's go down around here. Has to go around the capstan down here. So we get there. And you have to make sure it's on the right side of everything. out better when I fed it up this way. This time I'm coming down a different way. It's going to go around, really feed it in like this. Now it's got to go around the capstan 3 times. Tuck this behind the wheel. Tuck this under the wheel. Down from here. It's got to be on one side or the other of the capstan in there. So I figured that out by looking at the other string. Did I really? No, I figured it out by winding it on there and then experimenting with it. I have to do that again. Jeepers creepers. Okay, so we got the FM button pushed. The FM gears are engaged down in there. Okay, so turning it this way, you would want the pointer to go that way. For the pointer to go that way, the pointer string, which is this one, is representing the pointer position, you'd want it to go this way. So to go this way, the upper string's going this way. Okay, so the string is going to go this way when the dial goes this way. So looking now at the thing, it must come up. Doesn't make sense. Another way to figuring this out is the position of this pulley and this. No doubt the string comes vertically upwards on the back side of this to head to here. It's got to come up out of the back side of this. Front side, back side. Dial going that way. String being taken up. So the string actually comes down underneath, hits a pulley down here, comes up through that hole, intercepts the far side, wrap, up off the far side into this pulley. You got it? Now I did the whole thing from the wrong point of view. I got the whole idea in my head but backwards. So I want to come down onto the back side of the piece. Let me just put a turn on it and then test it. Because I really have trouble thinking these things. I have to kind of see them. Okay, let go. Okay, so it's on the oh, get on there. On the capstan. So this should be taken up string when I turn it this way. It's trying to take up string, so that's good. So I have it the right way. Go around. I want to go around 3 times on here. This is somewhat thin string. Over the top and down the hole. That's what we need to do. Over the top. Now we gotta go down. Oh, no, don't do that. No, don't. Hold the string down. Hold the string down. Okay, is there gonna go another one? Yeah. Okay, hold the string down. Now we gotta get it through the hole. Oops. Now it goes this pulley here. Comes across. And it needs to intercept this connector with the string. So this is good. I've got it shortened because I didn't put it on the wheels here. I didn't put on the wheel here, and it's actually fallen off the big wheel here. This is really out not much. This is not good. I want the string to be roughly in its final, length. This is too far out. With this kind of work, I have to keep my eyes on my hands all the time, and I seldom look up at my video monitor. So occasionally I'll be off camera and stuff like that. I won't realize it. We don't need to put this one on, but you can see what it's going to do. The alignment of this against this and against this is really tricky. And I worked on this for a long time to get this to track the string onto this wheel so it wouldn't fall off on the inside. Yes, stories from the battlefield. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to tense up this string so it won't fall off while I start working on the wire. And the way I've done that is I take this hooky thing, hook it in here, hook this on here. And so I don't know that the string is the right length at all. It looks way shorter than it was. It looks bad. Okay, so my hooky thing here is, let's pull that out. It looks way shorter. So that'll hold tension on the string. It won't tend to fall off while I work on the wire. Now the wire has developed a lot of coiling in it, and I can't get rid of it. If anything, it's getting worse. So when the wire comes off, it springs, and it just totally comes off. So this piece should really be about here. So we'll start back over at this area. On. Come on, oh yeah, be agreeable. There's 74 million people. If it was 94, that show would continue. It would have continued. And I'm obviously a lot of people were never fooled by who. 74 million. I was one of those people. I'm coming to realize that everything I've been led to believe is just a made-up, nonsensical story designed for the advantage of another man, to get me to advantage another man through lies. Would upset me an awful lot. An awful lot. Now, this has got to come up here. Now I can afford to pull on this because this is being pulled on. Oh, it's locked actually. Wait a minute. Something wrong here. Oh, for crying out loud. I put this on completely backwards. This is not supposed to be pulling the wheel against the lock at this point. It's supposed to be pulling it away from the lock. It's perfect. Come on, Jim. You gotta wonder too, you know, the new string broke from all this monkey business. How long was the wire gonna last? Okay, now this should. I should probably have this end of the wire on a spring too. So as I work with it, it's constantly pulling tension against what I'm doing. A long, loose. Oh, that's too stiff. A loose guy. This come over, stop here, meet the spring and get tension. The spring then has to hook somewhere, like maybe in there. The spring is nowhere near long enough. I got this in here last time to hook. Attach it here. This is a whole new approach. I've never tried doing this. Now, can I wind this on? Don't turn. It all fell off. Yeah, the idea the white string is supposed to keep this wheel from turning. And it's not, because it's fallen off. My wife asked me, how can you spend 3 hours putting a string on some pulleys? This is how. Once, now Pamela's radio in the photograph, there's only this many turns on this. But if I do that many turns, there's a ton of excess wire. I gotta come all the way around down to one extra turn, I believe. Okay, come on. Let's go down through here, around there. What happened? That's not, the white string fell off again. broke the string there. Okay, white string is on and everything is held. Oh no. It's not held enough. We need more tension on the white string. That's pretty good. That's locked. So these things you're seeing me do here, these are methods that I developed slowly of how to do this. So I think that's good there. I think this will come up here. And my methods expanded with my new spring-loaded kicker back. There's no way this is going to be. So these two ends, they're heading, well, you know what? Okay, let go of everything. Go of everything. So the radio is strung. It is looking for a very small spring between these two. The original spring would work perfectly here. Like, oh my God, don't go down there. Come up here. Come off. Where is that little spring? Here it is. All I gotta do is just hook it on that white string and I am essentially done. But I've been here a few times. Okay, I want to spring it. Spring the spring. There, that's good. I think. Now I got to get the other spring off of there. Wow, okay, so I'm farther ahead now than I've ever been in doing this string. We're under here. We shouldn't be under this. We're not on all the pulleys yet. We're on just this one, these two pulleys. So we're going to pull quite a bit on the white string here. And that's going to tense up this one. Good. Looks like it's just about perfect, in fact. Let's see what happens here. Use this control to move the slack around to where I need it. Okay. We're on here, we're on here, we're on here, here, here. 3 times around there. We're on this wheel. We're caught under here. Okay, we're caught under here. We are we? There we go. The spring is sprung out here. It's been sprung. You pull it out that far, it's not coming back. So it's going to be a spring now of a different sort. How come we're still under here? I thought we're under this one. Okay, so let me get it off here. There. That reduced the spring a bit, but amount of tension. Tension's a big factor here on the kappa stand. The green pointer flag, you can barely see it, is over here. Yeah, why aren't I turning the knob? Because I've been here before, and turning the knob ends all of the joy. Like, absolutely, this is really quite slack down here. So the dismounting places that I know of basically are off the edges of this wheel. If you look at the alignment here of it, it just looks completely bizarre. And we have this thing obviously installed on an angle, which I fiddle with. This will also pivot this way and this way a little bit, and it will also move this way and this way a little bit. All these ones are all fixed in place, and this is essentially fixed in place, but there is some maneuverability if you maneuver the entire tuner, but that's not something I want to do. But there are adjusting slots. My guess is the outer wire is going to come off, and this is why Pamela ended up putting a bracket here to retain this back. So this screw vertically is just about in the right position to hold something like a bracket. I would use a stiff, I might even do it on the outside. I would use a stiff piece of wire, like steel wire, and I think I have some steel and some coated steel. We will turn this a little bit and just keep eyes on that thing, and we'll just see if the mechanism even works. All is moving. So this is coming off the wheel down here, so it's not going to, if it's playing off, it's not going to slip off. It's the white one that has the chance of coming off. It comes off right up here. See it climbing? It's staying on, but not by much. Now, this is usually the moment where it comes off the bottom, because I'm looking at the top, and sure enough, I started turning this the other direction and winding it onto here, and this is where it can play off. It's going to come off. So if I were to just push this, just a little thing here like this, that wouldn't be a concern anymore. You have to wind these things on and off a few times to get them to kind of get into their natural or desired position. Is there anything else about to pop off? The string knot here is approaching the wheel. I have the feeling it's at the wheel now, and the capacitor has distance to go. That means it's pulling the knot, the loop, and eventually the spring up and around this wheel under here. Which means that the string is not long enough. So now it's pulling the spring. Okay, so it just met the end. The spring is right there, and it's hitting the end here. At that point, the string really slips, and as it's supposed to slip. Okay, we're going to go back now. This is really not a very good arrangement, but now we'll see if this just walks off over here. Oh, what happened? She's not moving. Oh, because I'm turning the wrong way. Okay, you can see this is just heading to the edge right away, and it's going to come off. So we do need some kind of retainer, just like Pamela did. I'm going to do a steel wire up from here. Okay, I'll have to find the steel wire I believe I have. Okay, let's try this once again. Thank you, Pamela, for the idea. I'm doing mine with a little piece of wire from here. Now we're coming up towards the end here with the spring meeting the wheel. It just gets there. Okay, and now we go back. I'm trying to watch everything here. This is still pretty close to the edge here. It's definitely, the wire's definitely retaining it. This wire's definitely retaining this one. Very close to the edge though. Too close for comfort. So this is a piece of steel I'm bending, it's not copper. And it's pretty sure to stay where I put it. Okay, getting a little reckless there. So that's one end. I see the spring does close up pretty good. There we go. Some of these radios I've noticed that, like this kind of connection here, at one end it's smaller than at the other end. Exactly why that might be, I don't know. Doesn't seem to make sense to me, but I've noticed that. Okay, so now I'm checking to see if this thing will go the whole distance. It's not sticking part way. I think the situation with the spring here is acceptable. By Jove, I think I've done it. Now, what was cutting that other string? So I suspect it had something to do with this hole, but the string is clearly passing through the center of the hole there just fine. Seem to have done it. This is the most precarious thing right here, I think. If the tension's enough, I guess maybe it'll keep the string seated and it can't climb out. It's too much tension pulling it into the pulley. But boy, that just doesn't look very good, does it? I can change this a bit. Make it look better anyway. So this is usually where things start going downhill. Everything's okay. Now I'm going to make improvements. Downhill it goes. Okay, so I want to do that kind of thing there. Is that less likely to come off? I think so. It doesn't want to go any further than that. String doubling here. What happened? So when I moved this bracket, this happened before, and it took me like 20 minutes. 20 minutes. It took me what felt like 20 minutes to discover that there's a stopping pin here. And this rotating collar, rather, there's a stopping pin on the shaft. Let me bring it around. There's the pin down here. And by moving this bracket, you can make the bracket interfere with the stopping pin and stop the capacitor in the wrong spot. And that's what I've done. So I have to undo what I did here. And make sure the pin is free. it's a game of fractions of millimeters. What it is. Got that good and tight so it won't drift. Now, have we cleared the pin? Watch out. This is when the string comes off. I'm looking at the pin, the string comes off, and the whole... Yeah, that's another day lost. Hope that doesn't happen. Okay, the pin is clearing. The string is staying. It's the end of the road for the capacitor. Back the other way. Looking for fraying in the string. How come it's getting awfully dirty? Where did it pick up all that dirt? Any part of it fraying at all? Where some cutting action is happening. I don't see anything. We're all the way the other way almost. Oh, drum roll. We're going back now. Seems very nice. Consistent. Hot diggity dog. Now we just have to figure out where the pointer goes. Whew. Okay, I'm going to stop for a while and take a deep breath because this has been a tough one. Definitely a tough one. Wow, well that was kind of anticlimactic. 3 hours and then boom, but I guess that's how it always ends. So here's the pointer. I guess it has to go this way. A little bit of green tape here was marking roughly where it was, but the green tape traveled on the wire and doesn't mark anything anymore. Turn this to one extreme. Okay, so it's going to travel on this lower wire. Let's turn it to this extreme. So a little bit of red paint and some roughing up of the wire right in here. That's where I think the pointer was. I think it needs to be over here now. So the technique with these is a wire wrapping kind of technique. And that's all it takes, just like that. That's just too easy, isn't it? I'll go this way. Yikes, it's going a little, that's a little too far, I'd say. Get the caught back here. This is going right up under the tone control, where it probably shouldn't go. Let's see if I can slide this now. Can't go past here. Capacitor's just closing. Oh, this just fell through here, right? Okay, so I'll move it once again. The funny thing about doing these moves is you hold the string on the side of the wire you're moving towards. You tend to want to hold it on the other side you're pulling away from. You actually grab it here, and then you can move it towards it. Come on, that's just a funny shape. So using this bar as a measure, I'm almost at the end here. And, just trying to keep an eye on all these. It's a good string test going back and forth like this. The pointer has fallen. What's supposed to keep it from doing that? And a lot of radios, these radios have this kind of a string here. See how this is holding this? Should there be one down here and it's missing? think so. So what to do about this exactly, I don't know. The bar is still disappearing up under there, but that's the end of it. That's the capacitor is fully open. To put the glass on and kind of take a look at it. I mean, I should have wound this the other way. Wind the wire the other way. It causes springiness towards the front. Let's try it and see what happens. Did I just put it on the same way? I took it off and put it on the same way again. Working good here. What I think happened just now is this piece of tape dismounted the cable on this pulley. Dismounted the cable, blew the spring off over here, and everything is without tension now and ready to fall off everywhere. You know what really helped me with the last radio I was working on? It seemed like after I did this particular thing, from then on the radio really behaved a lot better. Okay, the radio's got the message now. The first thing I should do is try to reconnect these. Pull a little bit of tension onto it, and then fish it back on here. I gotta get rid of this too. Let's get rid of this first. I don't know, a little piece of tape would. Oh, that's good, Jim. Using cutters right near the wire. Oh yeah, that's a smart move. What else you gotta do? Come on, it's just a piece of masking tape. Speaking with frustrations, don't do that. Keep calm, carry on. I'm going to improve the grip on this. Try anyway. Oh, that's better. Okay. Onto the wire. And onto the string. String the wire, pull back some tension. Good. Everything stayed on. I can't believe it. Holy smokes, we're not out of the woods yet. Get it on the wheel here. Get on the wheel. Wow. Okay, that was a pretty good recovery. Was it really a recovery? Or did something else happen? I didn't really see what happened. Capacitor's almost all the way. Capacitor's closed. Pointer here. I think it's got to go just a little bit further over. That's pretty good. Let's get the dial face. The pointer standing straight up. Must be a little bit of twist. Twisting it down at this point where they've got the piece of felt on it here. And that kind of gives it some stability, some positional stability. Let's get the plate. Just kind of hold it up here and look at it. Actually, that's really quite good. There's the pointer. It goes off a little bit on this side. There's a, you know what, there's a pointer mark. So there's a pointer triangle right there. Right next to it is the 108 triangle. And then there at this far end, there's one here marked 87.5 with a small. Those are alignment marks. This one down here, the far one on the left, that's right at the edge of the dial window, is the pointer alignment mark. Stopping short here, so we need to move about, well, I can do it actually with the glass on there. Just move it up. Oh, no, I can't. It's way down there. That's why I took the glass off in the first place. There we go. Put this away. Move the pointer. Ooh, it's really not the direction I want to move it in, but we're going to have to. Because this metal part is going up right above the tone control potentiometer there. That's about it. There we are. Holy smokes. String on. Wow. What a journey this has been. Do I dare turn the radio on? Well, why would I want to ruin my day by turning the radio on and finding out there's something else has gone wrong with it? Got to do it sooner or later. Let's take the gamble. I really have an 8 ohm speaker where I'm supposed to have a 600 ohm speaker. That just doesn't really add up at all. The 600 ohm speaker indicates the circuit design in here is quite different. He mentioned no output transformer. And you know, I haven't seen one. So that could be part of why the volume isn't as great as it could be. Although it's not all that bad. Volume down. Let's put a knob on here. Okay. switch off. So I'm talking about the speaker. It's actually not hooked up. Speaker hooked up. Can you really stick an 800 ohm speaker where a 600 should be and get away with it? I don't know if you can even get away with it. So maybe it's not a 600 ohms. I will measure the real speaker. Power on. Okay, we're set to 117 volts coming out of there, going through the dim light. Nothing should have happened. Didn't I turn it off? No, there is no off. There is no off, Jim. Remember, there is no off. We have bayonet lights, so I'll be able to replace this bulb. Give us 2 bulbs. Volume control is set low. For some reason I'm singing now. Pretty excited, actually. Hey, we gotta push one of these, don't we? According to the manual, with no buttons pushed, this radio is in medium wave mode. And the medium wave button is nothing more than an on button. Nothing more to trigger the on mechanism. Any one of them will trigger the on mechanism. But is that really true then? Well, I don't know. Apparently what I said is baloney. So there's broadcast. Hot diggity dog. We're going to FM now. Volume up a little bit. Volume way up. No antenna. We have no antenna. So just for the sake of doing something, I'll click this on. It's not a very proper FM antenna, but it's going to do. Volume is full. Come on, man. Come on, radio. See? I shouldn't have done this. I should not have done this. Back to broadcast for a moment. It's definitely there. Short wave sort of there. Short wave there. We were listening to FM before. Oh. Come on, radio. Okay, let's try a better, another kind of antenna here. Something, really, there's nothing that's going to be any better than that. It's just. This is the FM one here. That's the ground. Well, that was unfortunate. This is unfortunate. Volume is completely full. Not even a crackle coming out of there. Yeah, I should not have done this, but I think that's going to be it for today. I'm going to leave this. We'll deal with the FM stuff tomorrow. I'm sure it's something minor. And the radio will be done and gone. Hey, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll try and do a video tomorrow.